Hello, my learned colleagues. In this video, we are going to solve a past question from IGCSE 2022, paper 3 in the core curriculum. To be precise, that is February-March 2022, and the code is 0580/32. So if you want to follow along, you can download it and follow along. Question 7 is what I'm looking at. It covers both bearing and distance, and also a little geometrical construction, and then speed and distance. So the first question says 1 mile is equal to 1.609,344 kilometers. Change 6 miles into meters. How can we do that? First of all, 1 mile is equal to what? 1.6 ... kilometers. And here they want us to change 6 miles into meters. That means we need to convert this kilometer to meters first. We know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So if 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, what will be 1.609,344 kilometers? Let it be x. By simple proportion, x is equal to 1.609,344 multiplied by 1,000. What I'm doing is to cross multiply. 1 times x is 1x is x. Then 1.609,344 multiplied by 1,000. That means s is equal to 1,609.344 meters. Now that we know the value of 1 mile, which is this kilometer, now we converted this kilometer to meters, and it gives us 1,609.344 meters. We can now change 6 miles into meters. So in other words, 1 mile is equal to this. So if 1 mile, let me do this here. If 1 mile is 1,609.344 meters, what will be 6 mile? 6 mile, let it be what? X. Again, by simple proportion, cross multiply. 1 times s is x. So s is equal to 6. 6 times 1,609.344. Let's plug that into calculator. We'll have 6 multiplied by 1,609.344, which gives me 9,656.064 in meters. But the question says, what is the question? It says give your answer correct to the nearest meters. So if we round this number off to the nearest meter, of course this fractional part, the decimal part, will be gone. So to the nearest meter we'll have 9,656 meters as the answer there. Okay, that is the first question done. And the second question says, that is question 7b. Now the bearing of a boat from a harbor is 322 degrees. Work out the bearing of the harbor from the boat. Okay, here let's first of all draw some reference points. Okay, so let's get some cardinal points again as usual. So the cardinal point, let me start here. This is north. Remember, we always measure bearing from north and go in anti-clockwise direction. This is north. So the bearing, we are going to come all the way like this until we get 322. Now we cannot get 322 with a protractor. So I'm going to subtract 322 from 360, which is the angle in a complete revolution. That is, if I have my cardinal point north, south, west, and east, the cardinal point divides the plane into 4 quadrants. Each of these quadrants is 90, 90, 90, 90. That is, the total will be 360 degrees. So 360 minus 322, which is the bearing given to us right here. So this is harbor. This is the harbor. Let's call it H. So 360 minus 322 is 38. So I will measure angle 38, but this time around I'm going to go in anti-clockwise direction. That is because the angle that I need is 322. So I cannot get that from a protractor. I subtracted it 322 from 360. Then measure the remaining one in the anti-clockwise direction. 38 is right here. We'll put a mark there. That is my 38 right there. Now I'm going to join that point now to my reference point. That is the harbor. 38. Join it to my harbor. I think the ruler is well placed now. This. We join it. Okay. That is that. So let's call this B for boat. Since say a boat or the bearing of a boat from a harbor is 322 degrees. So what we have done here, remember that we need to measure bearing from north and go in go in the clockwise direction. So from here down to this place is the 322 degree. 322 degree. That is the angle there. That is from this point like this down here is 322 degree. Remember, that is not the angle we measure. We measure the remainder when we subtract this from what? From 360. We subtract this from 360, we got 38 degree. It is that 38 degree we measure with a protractor, which is this angle, this small angle here. This small angle here is 38 degree. Okay, so that is that. Now the question says, work out the bearing of the harbor from the boat. The bearing of harbor from the boat. Here is the harbor and here is the boat. Again, let's make some cardinal point with around the boat or where the boat is right now. Let's make some cardinal point there. I have my reference point there. Now we know that this angle here, this very angle, this small angle, which is 38 degree, this 38 degree is equal to these two. They are alternate to each other because this line here and this line here are parallel lines, and this line that crosses the parallel line is a transversal. So when a transversal crosses parallel line, two types of angles are formed: alternate angle and corresponding angle. But my focus here is on alternate angle. This angle 38 here, which we measured earlier, is alternate to this. So that means this place too is 38 degree. 38 degree. but they want us to get the angle or the bearing of the harbor from the boat. The bearing of the harbor, remember we measure bearing from north. This is north here. So I'm starting the measurement from here down to this very line here, which will give us the bearing. So from this point down to this point is the bearing of harbor from the boat. How can we get that? This straight line here is 180 degree. Is angle on a straight line. This angle plus this angle is 180 degree. So if this is 38, this will be 180 minus 38. 180 minus 38 will be 180 minus 38 is 142. So the bearing of harbor from boat is 142 degree. That is that. Question say work out the bearing of the harbor from the boat. So the answer there is 142 degree. That is that. Then for question A. Now let's move on to question B. Oh no, that is question B we just finished with. Let's move on to question C. Question C says the scale drawing yes, shows the position of Shakti's house S and Myri's house M on a map. This is the scale drawing. Okay. Unfortunately, my camera cannot cover the whole thing at once. The question says measure the bearing of M from S. Measure the bearing of M from S. This is M, this is S. So we have to measure the bearing of M from S. M from S means we have to measure this very angle here. This angle is the bearing of M from S. So with our protractor, we're going to measure it. Here's my protractor. I have a protractor here. I place it in a way that the reference point on the protractor is resting exactly on the point where this is the point and this is the reference point on the protractor. That is where the baseline of the protractor and the 90 degree meet is the reference point. So you place it in a way that the baseline is resting on this line here. The reference point is also resting on this point here. So I'm placing it this way right now. Okay, adjust it a little. That is it right there. Now, I think it's not there yet. Okay, it's there right now. So I'll measure the angle and come all the way like this. This is 106 also. Yes, 106. So the bearing is 106 degree. Let me confirm that. Let's see where I did not place it where. Okay, 106 is okay. 106 degree is the bearing of M from S. Okay, then the two or the second part of that question, question C, CII, we have another reference line here, point S, and then if you go down, the question says this scale drawing shows another map with Shakti's house S marked on it. The scale of this map is 1 centimeter represent 5 kilometer. Mark the position of Mary's house M on this map. The position of Mary's house M on this map. Now, they said the scale drawing shows another map with Shakti's house S marked on it. The scale of this map is 1 centimeter represent 5 kilometer. Okay, so how do we mark the position of Mary's house? Now we have to get the bearing first. The bearing still remain the same. The bearing is 106 right here. So 106 measures from this point. 106 106 is right here. Right here. Join that point to your reference point. Okay, that is that, but that is not yet the position of Mary's house. Why is it so? Now on the first map, excuse me, the scale is 1 centimeter represent 4 kilometer. But on this second map now, the scale is different. The scale is 1 centimeter represent 5 kilometer. So we need to know the distance of Mary's house from Shakti's house in the first map, and then convert that distance in respect to the new scale. So let's get the distance here first. The distance of Mary's house to Shakti's house on this map is 9 centimeter. So 9 centimeter, let's convert that to kilometer first, so that we do the same thing in the second map. So in the first map, excuse me, 1 centimeter is equal to 4 kilometer. What will 9 centimeter be? Let it be x. By proportion, s is equal to 9 times 4, which is 36 kilometer. So Mary's house from Shakti's house is 36 kilometer in the first map, or on the first map. Let's convert that distance in relation to what the second map. The scale of the second map is different. For the second map, 1 centimeter is 5 kilometer. Excuse me. So if 1 centimeter is 5 kilometer in the second map, 1 cm is 5 km on the second map. How many cm will be that 36 kilometer that we got in the first map? 36 kilometer. How many cm? By proportion, s is equal to 36 divided by 5. Look at it. What I did there. S times 5 is 5s. 1 times 36 is 36. So 5s equal to 36. Divide both sides by 5 to get this. So 36 divided by 5, that should be, I think, 7.2 or so. Let me confirm that. 36 divide 5 is 7.2 centimeter. So we'll go there now to our drawing. That means the length of this line from the reference point to this place should be 7.2 centimeter. So place your ruler, the 0 mark on S, and then extend this line to 7.2. That will give you the position of Mary's house on this new map. So here is my 7.2 right there. Let me put a cardinal point there too. Not. This is Mary's house on the new map. I hope that brings us to the end of this question. I hope you found it useful. If you do, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel for more of this. Thank you for your time.